I spoke about this a little bit in a previous video, but there were some people and God has spoken to me specific prophecies for them to give them. And it was truly a hit or miss situation where either I knew exactly what I was talking about or I didn't. And it kind of messed with my mind a little bit because I did not know these people. I had never seen these people before. I didn't even know how they looked. And I didn't even know their name. And yet I was speaking into their lives. Yes, God had given me the word, but sometimes when you are truly stepping all the way into a prophetic anointing, it can play tricks on your mind. But ultimately, it's up to us to face our fears and to speak anyway and to speak what it is that the Lord has given us. But regarding those situations and a few other tasks that God had given me, as I was contemplating if I would be good enough, if I would be accurate enough, etc., God began speaking to me saying that I was up 100. And I want to say that this is like a saying or like slang, up 100. I can't remember where I heard this from originally, but it feels like I have before. But nevertheless, God said to me, you're up 100. Fast forward when God told me to pack again, and I was looking for some boxes a few days ago. I kept seeing this box in my garage, and on the box it says up 100. Also, a few days ago, a week or so ago, I don't even know at this point, but I was kind of talking out loud, talking to God, and I was seeing how God upped the score. Like, God didn't up the score. Now, up the score is slang for a couple things, and one of those things are, if a person has upped the score, that means that a person has elevated themselves in one way or another, but it usually hints to a financial elevation. If you used to make $2,000 a month, but now you make $20,000 in a week, you didn't up the score. Another meaning of up the score is when there are two rival gangs, ops, if you will, and someone from one gang kills someone else in their rival gang, and then that rival gang comes back and kills one of their men, especially when it's multiple men. That would be considered up in the score. God has upped the score. And when that hit my spirit, I knew that through that God was saying, I have went ahead of your enemies. I have went ahead of anything that tried to come against you. I have went ahead of your situation, and I have truly upped the score. And the way that I felt in my spirit was, those enemies cannot come back. The ops cannot come back. God has went ahead of me and completely destroyed anything that ever tried to stand in my way. Another thing that I had been hearing in my spirit is, I got 10 to get in, 10 to get in. 10 to get in is slang for, I got enough to get in. If you're trying to get into a new car and you go down to the dealership and they say, all we need is $3,000 down and all you got is $3,000, well, baby, I got 10 to get in. Through that, God was speaking to, you have done enough. It may not have felt like it was enough. You may have felt like you wish you could have gave more, or you had more to give, or there were things that you could have done differently, or you may not feel as prepared as you would like to feel. You may feel like, I really don't have as much as I would like to have in order to move on this assignment or in order for me to walk into this new thing, but I have enough. God was also tying a previous word into this, the word that he gave me, a perfect 10, having a perfect score. So if you could see, all of these things, all of these phrases, all align to this specific word that he was giving me. And today, God expands further on this word, and he says, the final results are in. I was getting so excited, seeing that, hearing that, feeling that. The final results are in. If you didn't get any new instruction for a while, it's because the final results are in. God was relating this to when you were in grade school, when we were in college. It comes a time where it's too late to turn in missing assignments. If you haven't put those assignments in yet, if you have not sent it to the professor's email yet, it's too late. You can't turn in no missing assignments. I'm not taking no more missing assignments. And no, you can't stay for tutoring because God has already calculated the grades and the results are in. The scores are final. The other night, I walked to the store and I got me a Coke. And when I looked at the Coke, I seen 100% on the Coke. And when I seen it, it hit my spirit so heavy because I knew that God was speaking to this same word. The results are in. God sees you at 100%. Just like I said in another video, if you have 100 in a class, ain't no 101, ain't no 105, ain't no 120. You have a 100. If you know for a fact that you are right around the corner from your promised land, if it's not just something that you're waiting on, but you know God has been strategically setting you up to walk into your promised land, then rest assured you have received a perfect score. It has been divinely, utterly perfection in God's eyes. 10 to get in also represents the heart posture. You have received a 100. You have received a perfect score because of your heart posture. You may not have done everything to perfection in the way that you may have wanted to. You may have not responded to a particular situation with as much grace. You may have responded to that situation with more clapback than you did grace. But God has seen. I was looking at the heart posture. I was never looking at the actions. I looked at the actions to an extent, but I was more focused on the heart posture. And you may not have done everything to perfection, but I have scored you based off of your heart posture. God is also saying it's time to stand on that. The final decision has been made. God gave a window of opportunity. God gave a window of time to see what people would do with it. Some roamed aimlessly thinking the Lord had turned his head and closed his eyes to their sin. They thought it was a game. They thought it was a joke. They had their way. They had their way with the world. They had their way with sin. But others have been working and toiling through their tears and sorrow. God's judgment has failed, and now you got to stand on that. Whatever you've been doing in the secret places, now you got to stand on that. Whatever you've been saying in the secret places, now you got to stand on that. Whatever you've been working towards in the secret places, now you got to stand on that. There is no time to try to get it right. There is no time to try to change God's mind. His mind is set. And whatever final decision that he has came to, it's time to stand on that. This world is about to see a heavy portion of judgment amongst the whole earth because it's time to stand on that. The final decision has been made. God gave a window of opportunity. What did you do with that opportunity? What did you do with that window of time? God has graded your heart posture, and you got to have a 10 to get in. You got to have an 100% to get in. Ain't no 99 gonna cut it. A 98 ain't gonna cut it. A 97 ain't gonna cut it. Catch it the next time. I hope you in position for it the next time, but this time is for the ones who have scored a perfect 10. This time is for the ones who have scored a perfect score. God is saying that you are now up 100. Every single area in your life will now be blessed because you are up 100. Every time I go out and I'll be looking at little home decor here and there, or I'm just walking through the store, walking through Kroger, walking through Walmart, and I see these little signs here and there, and they say blessed, blessed, blessed. I look here and there and I see scriptures talking about blessed. You are blessed. Blessed was surrounding me. Blessed was all around me. And God was saying through that, look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down. You are blessed. Everywhere you look, you will be blessed. Everywhere you turn, you will be blessed. Every area of your life, you will be blessed. It doesn't matter where you look, you are blessed. It doesn't matter what it looks like, you are blessed because you are now up 100. God has upped the score. You can't play with me like that no more because I done up the score. You can't talk to me like that no more because I done up the score. I'm not putting up with that foolishness anymore because I have upped the score. I'm not playing around in iniquity no more because I have upped the score. And God has seen my heart posture. Rest assured. Rest assured. Rest assured that you have received the perfect score.